What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Khadijah. If you're new here, I'm about to make a little matcha before we get ready for the day. Now the fun part, we're adding our milk. Matcha literally looks perfect. Oh my gosh. This is very cinnamony.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I feel like we can start our day. Off to do our makeup. All right, y'all, now that we got our matcha and we're ready to start our makeup, let's get into this routine. Because if you're watching this video, that means you're sick of your old makeup routine and you want something new that's gonna make you feel like the it girl. And I'm telling you guys, follow this makeup tutorial and you're going to be looking like the baddest bitch in the world, it girl on 10. So we love to start our base. What I use for my base is the Fenty Beauty foundation. I love this foundation so much. I think it just keeps my skin tone feeling so clear and radiant, and it's not too much on my skin where I feel like it is like super cakey. Like, to be honest, by the end of the day I forgot that I even had foundation on. I was like, wait, do I even have makeup on right now? Like, I literally had to look in the mirror. I forgot. So then I love to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury and carve out my face. This is the step of my face that I call carving out. So find out what like your nose routine, like your nose contour. Mandatory is putting the contour on your chin to give a more defined jaw look. That's just like a rule of thumb that I have. I go in on my forehead and, like I said, carving out our face, because this is going to make our facial features pop a little bit more. And you know, you gotta put the makeup on. Let's be for real. Doing a light cutesy makeup look, that's not what this is. This is putting on full force concealer. Boom. So this is actually a Chanel foundation, but I'd be using it as concealer. And I like to just do like the 2 strokes under my eyes. And then I like to let my concealer sit for a while. So let it sit for a little bit. If you just want to, you know, let it dry down so you can really get it like cakey, so it can, I would say, be thicker, so it can be more full coverage. Because like if you blend out your concealer faster, then it might not be as much full coverage. So you just want to give it, y'all, my fan had died. I need to charge it. Oh my gosh. But I had let it dry down for like a minute or 2, and I'm going in and blending it out. And I love to blend upwards because it helps me to snatch my face. I want my face to, you know, look just a little more like model-like and more snatched. And so I always blend my concealer upwards. But this is just the very foundational base work. So if you need to, rewind, pause, like, and do your makeup while I'm doing my makeup, because that helps me. Like, when I'm watching a tutorial, I like to do it step by step. So then we're carving out our jaw with this brush from Real Techniques. And this brush is a little bit more dense, which I like for blending and even placing product. I really love how this brush feels on my face. So I like to blend it up into my hairline so that you really can't tell. And then carving on my nose, this is a Morphe brush, but I like to blend it into my eyebrow hairs. Y'all, this is the part of the like makeup that I feel like really makes my face look so good, and like a makeup artist did it, when you're using like a brush that can really like define like what you're doing. Like, the size of the brush definitely matters. I'm learning that. So now I'm just like defining it a little bit more with that same brush. And I love the curving out like the nose and the brows. It just looks so pretty to me. And then we're just placing our loose setting powder under our eye for a brighter under eye look. You have to set it after you do your concealer. That is the trick, so that you know you don't have any like harsh lines, but you just want to make sure that it's blend it out before you place your concealer. I mean, before you place your setting powder. And so I'm just snatching like on the sides, like right under where I put that contour with whatever was left on the brush. Adding a little bit more bronzer with the Patrick Ta palette. And you can never use too much bronzer. I mean, of course you want it to be blended out, so like you don't want it to look like somebody like punched you in the jaw. But you know, girl, like don't be scared to put bronzer on, but also don't be scared to blend either. You gotta spend your time blending and bronzing. So I just added on some freaking some spray on my face. I'm bumping right now, y'all. Don't pay me no mind right now. Okay. Anyways, back to the tutorial. So now we're gonna get into these brows, and I'm just literally laying down my brow hairs with this NYX the brow glue. And I love to just like brush my hair up. I keep my eyebrows touched up every day or every other day, so keep your eyebrows touched up if you just wanna, you know, have a little extra something. So now I'm going in and adding a little bit of liner on top to kind of give just like a little pretty smokier eye to the top of my eye, and then adding in more of that bronzer on my eyelid because I don't wear eyeshadow, so this is just what I like to do to just kind of bring some color to my eyes, because if I didn't put this, my eyes would not have no color. Adding the MAC Studio Fix Plus, this helps to marry all your products together. If you want to look like you have a filter on your face, you're gonna buy this product. Like, for real, like you really need it to just blend it out and just make it look so pretty and so smooth. And then I'm just adding these eyeshadow colors as blush for my cheeks. I love to bring a little bit of color back to my face just to look like, oh my gosh, like I'm smiling and I'm happy, you know? And I'll bring it up to like the tips of my brow, the end of my brow. And then I like to add more setting powder. I really just be adding more of anything where I see fit, because yeah, like what? Oh, okay, child, this is a lot. But now going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow, like dip out brow pomade, and then adding some mascara. I like my brows to look more natural, so that's why I just kind of dust it through. And yeah. So then for my lips, I'm using It's Giving Guava by e.l.f. and just keeping it a very simple pinky look today. I didn't use no lip liner, which I typically do, but for like a softer lip look, I just be using like a gloss and calling it a day. So now I'm adding the MAC lip gloss on top. I love this stuff. It looks so good. I'm so happy with how this is turning out. Okay, period. You know when you feeling yourself. And then using this setting spray once more. It be drying down. I like how this dries down. Like it's not wet. It really feels like more like a hairspray. But then I use the Bea hydrating and setting mist as well on top, just for another sealant, just to say boom. Now I'm just adding some sunscreen on my chest. And yes, I'm wearing a top. For people wondering, I'm wearing a shirt, okay? It's strapless. I was trying to show it when I took some pics, but this is me just taking some pictures. Just trying to make sure, because baby, that flash test, it don't be playing, okay? The flash test never lies. And this is the finished look. I hope y'all like it. Subscribe to my channel. Please, please, please subscribe. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.